All of you get my voice?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Today we are going to study about the amphibians. As in last few periods, we have discussed on the fishes. We have seen about the scolodon fish, which is found in marine water fish. It is also called as dogfish. Then the next one group from animals after fishes, that is amphibians. The amphibians, these are the animals which enters on this terrestrial region. These animals, we can say that these are the developed animals, and they get able to live on the terrestrial region with the help of their whatever the changes among them takes place. Then whatever they have acquired certain characters, and if you see that there are a number of characters which are acquired by these amphibians, and they get able to live on this terrestrial region. If you see the amphibians, they are found on the terrestrial region, on the in the arboreal region. Particularly, they are also found in the moist places and in water also. So, in all type of the environments, they are capable to live in that particular environment. Then the some general characters of amphibians, they shows that whatever the changes which takes place among these amphibians, the amphibians are cold-blooded vertebrates. Then skin is smooth or rough and rich in glands, which kept it moist. So these animals, amphibians, they are cold-blooded animals, and they are having the skin which is smooth or rough in some spaces, and it is rich in glands which kept it moist. There are glands are present in the skin. Mostly it is noted that these animals, they having the that is the mucus glands, they are present. The body or the skin of these amphibians, it is sluggish, and due to the mucus which is present on the surface of body, it is we can say the body is weighty, or ज्याला म्हणतो आपण ओलसर अशी बॉडी जी आहे त्याची आपल्याला आढळते. Then there is in some species of amphibians, it is also noted that there is poisonous gland is present in the head region, and beside this mucous gland, the poisonous gland is also having in some species. Then the scales, if present, are hidden in the skin. In some species, it is noted that the scales, they are present just like the scales which are present on the body of fish and scales. Just like that, in some species of amphibians, the scales, they are present, but they are in a hidden position. Then skull is articulates with the atlas by two occipital condyles. The skull, whatever the structure of skull, if you see that it having the atlas by two occipital condyles is present in the skull. Then the limbs are tetrapodous pentadactyl limbs which are present, forelimb and hand limb. These limbs, they're having the that is these are the forelimbs. You can see that this picture of frog. These are the forelimbs, and it having the that is the position, that is tetrapodous and tetrapodous pentadactyl limbs. Then these are the forelimbs, and these are the hind limbs. Then red blood corpuscles, that is RBCs, are biconvex, oval, and nucleated. If you see the RBCs which are present in these animals, they are biconvex and oval in shape, and nucleus is present. These are nucleated. Then heart is divided into two arteria and one ventricle, and it has a conus provided with walls. So as compared to the fishes, the frogs, they're having three-chambered heart and one is in developing stage. Then in the last few periods, we have seen about the fishes, and in fishes, it is noted that the heart is two-chambered, that is the auricle, one auricle and one ventricle is present. And the heart of fishes is also called as venous heart, and this herd of fishes is that is venous herd, that is due to presence of deoxygenated blood in that herd. Then in amphibians, the herd is three chambered. The two arteria, that is two auricles, are present and one ventricle is present. The oxygenated and deoxygenated type of blood is present in this type of herd, and there is a conus is also that is present with walls. The walls, they are present in conus. Then aortic arches are symmetrical. So in amphibians, the aortic arches which arises from the heart and which arises from the aorta, ventral aorta, and passes towards the brain. Means the oxygenated blood is directly passes towards the brain of this animal. So aortic arches, they are in a symmetrical position. Then gills are present at least during some early stages of development. So uh, as during the evolutionary period, whatever the changes which takes place among the animals, in these changes, it is noted that the animals which enters on the terrestrial region, or the animals which comes out from the water, the first species of animals in the form of amphibians, then these animals, they shows that the whatever the adaptations, there are number of adaptations which are noted in this animal. So in this animal, particularly the gills, they are present at early stages of development, and during the metamorphosis period. Metamorphosis means the developing period of near about 3 to 4 weeks. After that, these animals, these frogs, they get able to comes out from the water. The female frog, they lays the egg on the surface of water, and from these eggs, the hatchlings, when the eggs, they get hatched, and the hatchlings, they comes out, and these hatchlings, they remain in the water during the metamorphosis period. Means the development is takes place in this period, and during this period, these animals, they live in water, and they make the process of respiration with the help of their gills, just like the fishes. So in this, that is the gills, they are present in fishes also, and the gills, they are present in the earliest developmental stages of the frogs also. So it shows that there is a correlation between the animals, and we can say that there is a evolution. There is a evolution that uh, these in these animals, whatever the adaptation which yet noted, but some characters, they shows that there is a interrelationship between these animals. There is a relationship between these animals on the basis of certain characters, which shows that in primitive animals like in pisces or in the fishes, the gills, they are present, and in frogs in early developmental stages, the uh, as I told you that they are living in the water, uh, they having the gills for their respiration purpose. Then the kidneys are provided with persistent nephrostome, lateral sense organs present during some stage of development. So kidneys with the persistent nephrostome. So nephrons, as you know that these nephrons, they play an important role in the process that is of filtration of blood. It is called as the functional unit of the kidney. So it is noted that in the amphibians, the kidneys, they are provided with persistent nephrostome. Then it is also noted that the lateral sense organs, just like the fishes, they are present during some developmental stages of the amphibians, the lateral sense organs, which detect the senses. Then eggs with gelatinous covering usually lay in water. So it is noted that the female frog lays the egg on the surface of water, and there is a covering that is the of gelatinous material, that is sticky fluid, semi-solid type of fluid, sticky fluid, just like a jelly, the gelatinous covering which bind the eggs at a particular position. It is also noted that the test of that particular gelatinous fluid is that is a salty type test, and the that is, it is a protection measure of these frogs, that is parental care is taken from the early stages after the laying the eggs by the female. So the eggs, they are protected within that gelatinous covering. So any unwanted animal or any type of animal can't eat that egg. It protects the egg from the that is uh, particularly feeding by any type of animal. Then larvae pass through an aquatic stage before metamorphosing into adult condition. So as I told you that after laying the eggs, the female take care of that particular egg, and it is noted that the early stages of the hatchling or the tadpole frog, it is takes place into the water, and during the metamorphosis period, there are certain characters is noted just like the fishes, and after the metamorphosing period, the frogs, they comes in the adult condition, and enters on the terrestrial region. So as I told you that the frogs, they having the different type of adaptation, or we can say the certain modifications in is noted in these animals. And it is also noted that the development of lungs in frogs, the lungs, they are developed, and when these frogs, after the period of metamorphosis, when they enters on the terrestrial region, at that time they make the process of respiration with the help of their lungs. And when these frogs, they get enter again into water, or in some wet sites, ज्या ठिकाणी ओलसर जागा आहेत, when they enters into water, at that time they make the process of respiration with the help of their skin. There are number of pores in the skin, and these pores, they shows the connectivity with the blood capillaries. So the process of respiration of frog in adult condition, when these frogs, they get enter into the water, the process of respiration is takes place with the help of their skin. Then the classification of these amphibians, the class Amphibia is divided into three subclasses. That is the first one, the Stegocephalia, that is extinct in position, म्हणजे लुप्त झालेले आहे ते, the Stegocephalia. Then it is having the early amphibians, the Stegocephalia. From this class, the amphibians, they are noted that these are early uh, amphibians with characters both of a fish and an amphibia. You can see that in this picture that these are the amphibians from the class subclass, that is Stegocephalia, and this class is extinct, means the animals, they are not present in this period. Then it is noted that whatever the characters of these amphibians, they are just like the amphibians and fishes. Then the earliest forms were almost fish-like, only limbs in place of paired fins. In particularly, it includes all fossil amphibia and a group of modern amphibia. So the earliest forms of this subclass, that is a stegocephalia, they are almost fish-like, and only the limbs in place of paired fins they are present. You can see that these are the limbs, that is forelimb and hind limb, and the structure of body is just like the fish. Then it is noted that only these forelimbs they are present instead of the paired fins. Then it includes all fossils. Fossils म्हणजे सापळे जे सापडतात, हाडाचे कंकाळ ज्याला म्हणतो आपण सापळे. So it includes all fossil amphibia and a group of modern amphibia. Then order, that is a labyrinthodontia. These were crocodile or salamander like fish eating amphibia, lived from lower carboniferous to that is Triassic period. So you can see that these are the amphibians. They are found. If you see the structure of their body, it's just like the crocodile or salamander-like structure of their body. And these are fish-eating amphibians. These are fish-eating amphibians, and they lived in the period that is lower carboniferous to the Triassic period. Then many species were aquatic or semi-aquatic, but others may have been terrestrial. It is noted that from this order, the species of amphibians, they either living on the terrestrial region or both in the aquatic on the aquatic as well as in the on the terrestrial region also. Then order Phallosophenidae. From this order, it is noted that the amphibians, they are small-sized salamander-like amphibia found in the Carboniferous and Permian deposits. So during this period, these type of amphibians they are found. It is noted that the structure of their body is salamander-like, and they are found in this particular period. Then the four fingers in this amphibians, the four fingers and four toes, they are present. The vertebrae, that is tubular with spinal cord and notochord lying in one cavity. So the vertebrae is present in a tubular manner, and the spinal cord and the notochord that is lying in one cavity, and also having the four fingers and the that is five toes. The example of this, that is Brachiosaurus and Diplocaulus. Then the subclass, that is Lee's amphibia. It includes modern amphibia having small, simple teeth and no dermal bony skeleton. It having the order that is Gymnophino or Apoda. It is also called as Apoda. Primitive, blind, burrowing, tropical forms body in elongated eel type, and limbs, girdle, and tail are absent. The minute scales are found, and copulatory organs are present in males. So, from this class, it is noted that this class is the modern. In this class, the amphibians they are found in that is the just like the modern amphibians. They are small in size. See, they having the simple teeth rows. They are present, and also the dermal bony skeleton is present in their body. The order, the first order that is from this subclass, that is the Apoda. From this order, the amphibians, it is noted that they are primitive, blind, burrowing tropical forms. blind means they don't having the eyes, and they having the burrowing habit means they remain in a particular burrowed type of manner. म्हणजे जमिनीमध्ये आत जे आहे आत राहणे, जमिनीच्या आत राहण्याची जी प्रोसेस आहे त्याला बरोईंग म्हटलं जाते. सो दे हॅव्हिंग द बरोईंग that is tropical forms. Body is elongated eel-like. If you see that body, the structure of body is eel-like. The fishes, eel, just like this, they having their body, they having the limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs, and the girdle is present. As you know that pectoral and pelvic girdles, they are present. So the girdles, they are present. Tail is absent in these animals, and the some minute scales, they are present on the body of their these animals, and the copulatory organs, they are present in the male. Then the second order from this subclass, that is chordata or urodela. Some important characters from this order, that is you can see that this is the example from this order, that is urodela. Body with a distinct head, trunk and tail. The body is divided into head region, trunk region and tail region. Limbs are equal size and weak. These are the limbs, forelimb, and these are the hind limbs. So these limbs, they are present, but it is said that they are equal in size, but they are weak as compared to the other animals. Then the gills, permanent or lost in adult, and skin is devoid of scales. Males lacking of copulatory organs. So the gills, if it is present, it is for only the in the developing stages, and it is also noted that in some species the gills, they get absent during the adult condition, and the skin is devoid, having the scales on the body. Then males lacking copulatory organs, they don't having the developed type of copulatory organ. Then subclass, next one, that is subclass Anura. The it is also called as the Silentia. The Anura are the most successful modern amphibians confined to tropical and temperate regions of the world, and inhabiting ponds and moist surroundings on the earth. So Anura, you can see that these are the most developed type of amphibian species. We can say them frogs. So this Anura, they said that the successful modern amphibians, and it is confined that they are found on the tropical region, in the temperate region, and particularly throughout the world, they are inhabiting in ponds or in lakes or in moist surroundings. त्या ठिकाणी ओलसर भाग असतो, चिखल येते त्या ठिकाणी they are present on this particular earth. Then they sharply divided into two categories: frogs and toads, adapted for life in pond, moist land, and lays eggs in aquatic regions. So these anurians, they are divided into two categories: the frogs, these are the frogs, and the second one, toads, large sized frog, that is called as toads. These are the two species, that is, these are the frogs. The two photographs, that is of frogs, and the third one, that is of toad. So it is noted that both these frogs and toads, they lays their eggs in the aquatic region. Then in this subclass Anura, there are the first one order, that is Aglossa. Means the glossa means it is having the tongue. You can see that the tongue is present. So these amphibians, they capture their food with the help of their tongue. So these aglossa are tailless amphibians which do not have tongue. Then the tympanic disc are not visible. Examples, that is Pipa and Xenophus. So some of the species, it is noted that they are tailless amphibians which do not have tongue. So some of the species they don't having the tongue, but some species they shows the tongue, and also the tympanic disc are not visible. The tympanic disc they are not visible, and the examples of that is a peepa frog and xenopus type of frogs. These are two examples from this order. Then phaneroglossates, the second order. It is said that these phaneroglossa are anurans with a tongue. So this is the example. This is the example, that is, this is the Alatus and the Rhycophorus. These are the two examples. So these phaneroglossa are anurans with a tongue. They capture their prey or their food with the help of their tongue, and the tympanic disc are distinctly visible. The examples from this Atlas and Rhycophorus. So these are the two examples. The tympanic disc or the tympanic membrane is present in this region of their particularly the anterior region of their body, or we can say in the head region below the eyes. This tympanic membrane is present. So from this, the phaneroglossates, the examples, that is Alatus and Rhycophorus. Then the parental care in amphibians. It is noted that we all know that how the parents, particularly in mammals, how the parents in mammals and birds, it is noted that how the parents they make care of their young ones. कशा प्रकारे यंग वन्सची काळजी घेतात आई वडील जे आहेत, आपल्याला बर्ड्स आणि मॅमल्स मध्ये हे चांगले उदाहरण भेटतात. Then it is also noted that in amphibians, all the amphibians they reproduce by sexual methods, and the breeding period varies from species to species. So amphibians जे आहेत, मेल आणि फिमेल हे दोन्ही सेक्स वेगळे आहेत, आणि they make the process that is of reproduction by sexual method. Then the breeding period varies from species to species. Then in general, it ranges between March to October. Then so all these frogs or toads, they make the process of breeding. Breeding means egg laying process. अंडे देण्याची जी प्रोसेस आहे त्याला ब्रीडिंग म्हटलं जातं. So the breeding period is during March to October. The external fertilization is a rule in that is tailless amphibia, and in all amphibia the eggs are laid on the surface, water surface is assured. So external fertilization takes place in the eggs, and as I told you that the females they may lays the eggs on the surface of water. Then egg usually hatches out as a tailed tadpole with external gills. So the hatchling which comes out from the eggs, that is known as the hatchling, or that is tadpole. त्याला tadpole सुद्धा म्हटलं जाते. जे एक मधून छोटा फ्रॉग बाहेर निघतो त्याला tadpoles किंवा hatchlings म्हटलं जाते. They having the external gills, and strange instances of parental care are known from each group of amphibians. So it is noted that you can see that the female frog having the eggs attached to the back of this particular frog. This female frog, आपण ह्या ठिकाणी बघू शकतो की eggs जे आहेत हे कशा प्रकारे बॅक साइडला बॉडीच्या अटॅच्ड कंडिशन मध्ये आहेत. सो दिस इज द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ पॅरेंटल केअर. म्हणजे आई वडील काळजी घेतात ऑफस्प्रिंगची, ते एक एक्झाम्पल आहेच. सो there are number of groups of amphibians. There are number of examples or number of groups of amphibians. They shows the parental care. A number of different species of frogs build nests or shelters in which the eggs are laid. In others, the parents carry the eggs or young ones over their bodies. So it is noted that some of the species of frogs they build the nest on the tree, then tree or in the ponds region. Then they make shelters to lay the eggs. Particularly the examples of parental care. It also shows that how the eggs they are at show attachment with the backside of the female frog bodies. Then all such instances can be briefed into three categories. Three categories: those laying eggs on water, those laying eggs on land, those carrying the eggs over the body. These are further classified into by males, by females, and by both. So, the whatever the parental care among the amphibians, it is categorized into three. That is the first one, the amphibians. Those amphibians which lays the eggs on the surface of water. Amphibians which laying the eggs on the land, and the example certain species of amphibians they carrying the eggs over on their body. So these are classified, that is either the male frog carries the eggs on their body, or either the females, or both these carries the eggs on their body. Then we have to see the example that is the elatus. It is one of the example, that is this elatus frog, that elatus obstricon is commonly known as midwife toad. It has papillae on the dorsal and ventral side. It has a particular breeding habit. Female laid the eggs and fertilized by the male. The male elatus winds in that is the string of eggs around its posterior body and thighs. They then it buries itself in moist earth. So this example, that is the elatus. In this example, particularly, we can see that the male and female uh, frogs, how they take care of their young ones. That when the female laid the eggs, and these eggs they are fertilized by the male. The process of fertilization is done by the male. So it is noted that the male elatus frog, they take these eggs and on the surface, on the body surface, particularly on the that is posterior region of their body surface, or in the thighs region of their that is hind limbs. And then these frogs they get buries itself into moist place. Buried म्हणजे एखाद्या चिखलामध्ये आत निघून जाणे, आत जमिनीमध्ये आत निघून जाणे. Buries itself in the moist region, ज्या ठिकाणी ओलसर चिखल येते जास्त त्या ठिकाणी आत जमिनीमध्ये हे मेल्स जातात. Then it makes occasional trips to water to keep the eggs wet. Then when tadpoles uh, when tadpoles are in an advanced stage and ready to hatch, the male plunges itself into water where tadpole larvae hatched and undergo metamorphosis. So in this process, that is of fertilization, how the role of male is important in the process of that is fertilization of the eggs. And when the eggs they get fertilized and they are ready in the stage to hatch, the males they enters into the water, and whatever the hatchlings from the egg comes out and they go undergo the process that is of metamorphosis, means the developing process of the tadpoles of frog. It is called as the metamorphosis. And there in water, in the aquatic region, is the development process is takes place. Then these frogs, the elatus type of frogs, they are found in France and Italy. So the next one, that is example pipa. Pipa is also one of the good example of parental care among the frogs or amphibians. The pipa is commonly known as the Suriname toad. It has several species found in Brazil, such as Pipa, the Dorsegera, and Pipa americana. It is an ugly toad which is aquatic, having flat body. The head is short and broad skin with papillae having poisonous gland. During the breeding season, the male clasps are female. The female protrudes out more than 3 centimeter and is covered over her back. The males presses out the eggs, which are then fertilized, and the fertilized eggs are attached to her back, the male helping in process of spreading them out evenly. So this is a good example. That is the pipa pipa. This is the toad. It is a large sized frog, and this pipa pipa is found in Brazil. It having two species, that is Dorsigera and Americana. These are the two species which are found in Brazil. If you see the structure of their body, the head region and the body is little bit flattened, and these frogs, they having the poisonous gland. They having the poisonous gland. The head region is short, the body is broad. Then it is noted that the breeding takes place. The breeding process takes place between the male and female. The females, when they lays the eggs, they get protrude, and whatever the eggs which are laid by the female, it is present on their backside. If you see that in this region, the eggs, they are present, and the male, it helps to press that eggs to attach to the body of the females, and helps to the females in the process, that is of fertilization. Then the fertilized eggs are attached to her back. You can see that in this picture, the fertilized eggs, they are present on the backside of this female frog. Then the male, as I told you, that it helping in the process of spreading them out evenly. Then the the last one example, that is Hyla, that is February. We can see this example, that particularly whatever examples we have seen, that this is this Hyla February is one of the example in this the particular frog. It having the specialized type of character, that it builds the nest on the border of the pond ज्या ठिकाणी पाणी साचलेलं असते त्याच्या बॉर्डरला जे आहे नेस्ट बिल्ट अप करतात हे फ्रॉग्स. अँड द फिमेल स्कूप्स द मड. स्कूप्स म्हणजे मड जे आहे चिखल असा बाजूला काढणे, अँड मेकिंग द डेप्थ ऑफ 3 to 4 inches डेप्थ खड्डा तयार करतात, आणि ती that is circular form nest is built in that region, and the eggs, they are laid by the female in that water body, in that particular scooped type of nest which is built up by the female. And it is noted that there is a protection of the eggs. The eggs, they are protected in that particular nest from the fishes or any insects. And particularly after raining, ज्यावेळेस पाऊस पडतो, these nests, they flown up with the water, पाण्यासोबत वाहून जे आहे त्या पॉन्ड मध्ये एंटर होतात, आणि त्या ठिकाणी the eggs, they get hatched, and the larvae or hatchlings becomes out from that water. So these are some examples of parental care in frogs. समजलं हे सगळ्यांना?
हो सर.
Any question?
Yes, sir.